What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another full solo driving video. Today we are on version 10.69.25.2. Yes, that is a long name, but that is the latest version today, January 2023. And today we have a good one. Today we have roundabouts, we have new territory, we have a lot of stop signs. I want to see if it got any better throughout the stop signs. We'll see how it goes. We are going pretty far today. I believe the drive was about 25 minutes in total. But the video is not going to be that long since I do cut up to the most important parts. The first thing we're going to do is try to get out of the neighborhood. Now, from previous experiences, the car struggles to get out of the neighborhood, especially some stop signs and things like that. And as soon as I said that, it totally blew by that stop sign on the right. So yeah, now it's picking up some speed. We do see some cars on the left. And yeah, it did pretty good. It didn't get scared with the golf cart and the other cars. We get to our second stop sign. It does see this one and it stops. Now, it goes too slow for my personal liking. It's waiting for I'm not sure what, because it's pretty clear on the left as you see on the 360 camera. So yeah, we still need to improve with those stop signs coming up. We have seen that in the past it totally blows by the stop sign, but today we're good. It sees the stop sign on the right and it does a great job. It actually was not hesitant that time. It was clear on all sides, so maybe that's a little bit easier for it, but it did good. Coming up, we have another stop sign. So yeah, this is 3. Let's see how it does this one. Oh, it goes a little bit far, but it does good. Oh wait, let's see. So it was a little bit hesitant. As you saw, it stopped kind of in the middle for some reason. I'm not sure why it does that. It does that in another stop sign later in the video, so you'll see. Here we have our fourth and final stop sign, and it sees it, it stops, and then as you see on the 360 camera, we are clear on the left, we're clear ahead of us, and the car is just not going. So yeah, and then it goes. So pretty hesitant on those. Once again, I know if it's for safety that the car takes too long to go, but I'd like it if it wasn't so hesitant at times. So in this next clip coming up, there's actually a car sticking out, and I let the car do it by itself. It hit the brakes hard because I didn't have anybody behind me, and then it went around it. Now, I saw the car from afar, and I could have done it better, but I still wanted to see what the car was going to do. It hit the brakes a little bit too hard in my opinion. A human driver would have just gone around the car, so maybe this is something where the full solo driving team can improve. So I do want to give a shout out to the full solo driving team, because this situation would not be possible if it wasn't for them. In another video, the car would not go because it couldn't physically see the green light. I've had multiple times where there was a truck in front of me or just a big vehicle in front of me, and because the car couldn't see the green light, it wouldn't go. So props to them for fixing that and just following the flow of the traffic. Beautiful job. Here we have one of the most difficult turns for full self-driving now. It's a big point of emphasis, which is the unprotected forward left turn. So here we actually see the truck in front of us again. To my previous point, the car cannot see if it's a green light, red light, or yellow light. So we're gonna take a look and see what the car does. Here we're just waiting for the truck in front of us to move, really. So you guys are gonna see that as we wait and the truck starts creeping forward a little bit, the car is actually going to follow, which is what a human driver does. If you can't see the green light, you usually follow the flow of traffic. So as we see here, the truck goes and then we have to go. So we have the forward unprotected left. Now there are a couple of cars coming up and you guys see the steering wheel is jerking a little bit, and then here it finally goes and uses the acceleration of the EV, which is something that I've wanted for a long time. Like, if you have the acceleration, just use it for your advantage to get away of a lot of situations. So that was actually 10 out of 10. Really good job. So coming up next, we have a roundabout. Now I have seen full self-driving struggle at times with these, but for this one, it actually does a great job. Instead of going through the roundabout, it actually goes through the little exit, which is beautiful. Now it does stop in cases where a human driver would have actually kept going, but that was beautiful. Coming up next, we have a four-way stop sign, and this is where the car has to take turns. It's one of those scenarios we're going to see how it behaves. Now, I think I did a great job at taking turns, but for some reason it was trying to creep forward here instead of just fully committing. So once again, those stop signs are a major headache for full self-driving. Coming up next, we do have an interesting situation. Now the car in front of us is gonna go and we're stuck in the middle of the intersection. There's a car on my left that is trying to go and there is enough space for me to move forward, so I stepped on the accelerator. Now, quick side note, I don't expect Beta to know whether it's stuck in the middle of an intersection and it has to give the right of way, because that's really complex thinking and I don't think Beta is there yet. However, if we do want to reach full autonomy in the future, the full self-driving team has to be able to figure that out, and I'm sure they will as time goes by. Also, coming up next, we do have a left-hand turn at this light. For some reason, the Beta is creeping forward, but it's keeping a pretty large gap between the cars. Personally, I would have liked the car to move forward a little bit, especially because it is a traffic situation. So the car behind me is probably thinking, why aren't you moving forward? And this is why I say, if you're behind a Tesla and you think it's driving itself, just move out, because it's pretty frustrating sometimes being behind a Tesla that is in self-driving mode. Other than that, I let the car do its thing. I try not to have so much input when these situations occur. I do want the car to be able to figure it out, and this is why it's a beta, right? We are testing things out. We're seeing what works and what doesn't, as long as it's between the safe, standards. So we're going to wait for the line to turn green. As we're sitting here, I do want to say that the beta updates are coming up, and There's some really interesting ones that are coming. We are going to have version 11, which is a pretty big version, which will allow beta to be effective in highways. Right now, we only have autopilot in highways, which is a very broken down version of self-driving. So pretty excited for those. Finally, the light turns green. Once again, a pretty big gap between the cars, but it's pretty safe, so I'll give it to it. Now, the car does something very interesting that it doesn't do often. Now, usually the car turns left and it stays on the same left lane. For some reason, it turned into the middle. Now, I'm not sure if that happened because we're going to turn right at the next light, or if it was just, a mistake. But it was pretty normal. It was very human-like. So, props to the Tesla for that. And finally, this is the last clip. We're coming to the end of the drive. We are going to a house in a neighborhood. So we're going to see what the beta does to try to get into the neighborhood. Makes the right turn, merges beautifully. Now we're going to turn into the neighborhood. It does so pretty smooth. It was awesome. No stop sign on the right. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the left. Beautiful. It stays on its path, on its lane. It's awesome. Now, something interesting comes up. We're going to turn right here, and there's a car coming. So the beta actually does it by itself. I thought it was going to freak out, but it does great. And just like that, we get to the end of our destination. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.